what's amazing is even to, if you're reading the newspaper or something, and they're talking about some world event, and they'll go, President Bush is going back to the future in his talks with, and you go, wow, it's a part of the vernacular. It's a part of, it's Americana. And I know at the time, I wish I got some of the sneakers and stuff, but at the time I probably would have been sticking hoverboards in my car on the way home and stuff, because that all those props, they really are part of the fabric of American movie, lore. And we didn't really have a sense of that the first time. I think we understood it a little more with part 2 and 3, but there's really a feeling of having been a part of something special and a part of something that really touched people's lives. I mean, and for me, I feel so lucky because I had that twice. I had that with Family Ties, and I had that with Back to the Future. And I knew at the time that nothing would ever touch those two experiences, either for me personally or the way that they moved people and moved audiences. And, I'm sure when people go to the Universal Studios tour, they want to go to that back, to that town, what do you call it, town square, and the courtyard and all that stuff. And, at the time, I don't know, at the time, you're just doing it. But I mean, people responded. I don't know. It's like this old guy talking about back in the good old days. But even movies that are big hits now, come out and do $500 million or whatever. You don't see very often the kind of reaction that audiences had to Back to the Future. They just really loved it. They really took it into their hearts, and it really meant something to them, and much more than just something during the weekend, a date movie or. Feeling of, I'm going to go see it because everybody else is seeing it. I mean, people really loved it, saw it again and again and again and again. And to this day, it's there are new people that see it all the time, and young kids that come up and say how much they loved it. And I have to remind myself that there are DVDs and there are tapes, and that's how they're seeing them.
Even though the movies became huge, the first one particularly was done in a very simple way, almost old-fashioned way. Can you tell us what you remember about those productions?
In a way, it was this big production that was really expensive and happened on a grand scale. But it also had this real kind of Andy Rooney, let's put on a show in the barn feel to it. It really had a feeling. We had Stephen's blessing, obviously, and Stephen's producing it, and Frank and Kathy, who had a proven track record. But nobody expected it to be that. Nobody expected it to be what it turned out to be. So we kind of were like these kids in a candy store. I mean, we really, and it was such a great team, and we all cared for each other a lot, and knew we were part of something, and really wanted to, like I said with Bob, we wanted to do it well for each other. Didn't want to let anybody down. You watch Chris Glover or Chris Lloyd in a scene, and you don't want to go in and stink up the joint when you go to do your work, because you just watch them be brilliant. And that kind of connected feeling all the way through. I don't know that it exists anymore like that.